Hey, coaches. It's Coach Chip again. Welcome back. Football Talk with Coach Chip. We had a lot of feedback on the last episode on the inside zone, or my version of it, and gave me some ideas to come back and do a follow-up like we've done on some other episodes from Season 1. Well, this is Season 2, Episode 3. We're going to talk zone football, inside zone to be specific. Don't forget, if you're on a Facebook page, go over to our Football Talk with Coach Chip page and like it, follow it, whatever it is you do on it. It's getting more and more stuff. Other people are posting things on it. Remember, you're welcome. If you have stuff that you're putting out, to post it on my Facebook page. You won't be kicked off unless you're trying to solicit funds, or I think you're kind of shady. And also, I'm on Twitter at Chip Siegel. And don't forget to email me your questions and your comments, which is what kind of led to this week's episode. People questioning, commented, us sharing ideas. Several coaches I've talked to over the course of last week when I did the episode 2 on the inside zone, got some ideas from them. They got some ideas from me, and we came up with some pretty good stuff. And also talking about drills to accomplish the things that we talked about in episode 2 of season 2 on the inside zone. Also, you notice a lot of my stuff is PowerPoint. If you want a copy of any of these, if it's PowerPoint, I'll be happy to email it to you. Just hit me up on siegel.chip@gmail.com. Tell me what you want, and I will send it to you. Not everything. Some of the original stuff was just video, me on the whiteboard, and me capturing some video off of Huddle, and there's nothing to send there. But if you don't want to have to go onto the YouTube every time to see it, so you can use it to come up with your own stuff to present to your kids or to other coaches, I'll be glad to share my PowerPoints with you. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to probably do this in 2 parts instead of going about 40 or 50 minutes. Let's try to keep it to about 20 or 25. So I've got about 20 more minutes to go before I'm going to shut this one down, and we'll come back, and whatever we don't get, we'll get to it next time. Okay, boom, here we go. Right Equipment, they're not an official sponsor of the show, but I'm just trying to get this out here. They're good people. Schools that have a need, they're able to help them out. They got a motto, it's lift now, pay later. I think that's what it says on their website. Go to right-equipment.com, located in Birmingham, Alabama. But been on the, Alan Creasy has a Right Equipment Facebook page that he's been posting some good positive coaching stuff on there. But also he posts pictures from different weight rooms that Right Equipment has designed and equipped. They have filled the need for schools I've seen as far west as Utah, and maybe even more than that. You go much further west than Utah, you'll be in the Pacific Ocean. But you can see their phone number there at the bottom of the screen, and their email address, and of course their website right there. But contact Right Equipment. Leo Wright's a good dude. He's a former coach, still got the heart of a coach. Even after he was out of coaching for a while, sometimes he gets back in it, helps out with programs, trying to get them on their feet, help the coach. And just a great guy. I asked somebody the other day, I said, how do they make any money? How does Leo Wright make any money? Because he's just such a great guy, and he's so accommodating. But he's been in business for years, almost as long as I've been in coaching, and that's 35 years that I've known about Right Equipment. And I've had, 10 schools I've been at over the years. Probably 8 of them got their equipment from Leo Wright either before I got there. And if I was there, had anything to do with it, we used them. The Lynette weight room and all those state championships over there in East Alabama that Lynette has won in track, basketball, and football, powered by Right Equipment out of Birmingham, Alabama. So let's remember that. All right, more zone stuff. Football Talk with Coach Chip. This is Season 2, Episode 3. Here's a rehash of our rules. Playside tackles, always driving the end man. Back playside guard, comboing the first DL to playside. If he's got a 3, he's on his own solo blocking. The center's going to combo with the A-gap DL to the linebacker. And if there's 2 of them, that's another thing right there. You got to make a call on everybody down block or everybody base block if they got 2 A-gap defenders on the DL. Backside guard, you're going to drive the first DL and combo if it's an A-gap guy. If it's a 3 or a 2, you're going to solo that joker. And then the backside tackles driving the end man on the line of scrimmage, because we like to throw the RPO and read that linebacker. If you are so inclined, coaches, you can scoop up to that backside linebacker and read that backside DN. You're going to have to read somebody if you don't have a tight end involved or an H, because they got 6 in the box. You don't have a 5 to block them. All right, a little bit about my version that we talked about in the last episode, episode 2 of season 2 of Football Talk with Coach Chip. It takes a lot of reps to run any type of zone, and you got to rep it up. I mean, every day you got to rep it up, regardless of what version of zone you run, because defenses are tricky and they'll do some things to mess you up, and you got to be able to answer any of the things they do. You don't have to rep it every day, but just any day that ends in a Y, or on days that you eat, you should rep up the zone, whether it's mental reps or whether it's physical reps. Even rep it up on Thursdays if you're like us and you have walkthrough days, what we call walkthrough, you really run through it. Non-contact days, still rep it up. Do work. If you meet on Sundays with your kids, get some mental work. If you're one of those teams that likes to go out and get a little bit of a run in, a little lift in on Sunday to get soreness out of them from Friday night, keep the lineman about 10-15 minutes, either on the board or out on the field. Review anything from the previous game, preview anything from the next coming game, but inside zone needs to be repped. And I believe you can be a zone team and dabble in gap scheme, but I don't think you can be a gap team that dabbles in zone and be any good at zone. You're not going to be good. It's kind of like the old triple option. You got to marry that joker. You got to remember from season 1, go back to our jet videos when I said you got to marry the jet to be good at the jet. And I think the zone is a scheme a lot like that as well. You just have to rep it up every day in your ID time and your inside run time. Even if if you have to break it up and do gap scheme one day and zone scheme one day, even on gap scheme day, you should do some ID time drill work, working on your combos, because the combos help you out on gap scheme too. But it should be the first scheme you install. I told y'all that in the previous episode, because it helps you with your pass blocking as well, the responsibilities. And we have a video about how it does that, how the zone responsibilities carry over to the pass blocking. And I think at the bottom in the description of episode 2 of season 2, there's a link down there, and I'll be sure to put it on the description of this one too. All the podcast guys call it the show notes. Should I call it show notes? All right. At least one of the guards is going to have a combo every time. Either if it's an odd front, they're going to combo with the nose, with the center on the nose. And if it's a split front, there's an A-gap lineman, they're going to combo with those guys as well. One of the guards is going to combo with the center on about everything. Against an odd front, you should have 2 combos. I believe your best 2 run blockers should be your guards. Why? Because they're going to have to do some solo and blocking on probably the best D lineman, the 3-tech. So you need to have pretty good cats there. I believe as long as the OL does not whiff on their first level blocks, you have a chance running this scheme. If your running back is any good at all. And that should be your best running back, out of the kids on your team. It's the best one toting the football. And if you don't whiff, if we don't whiff up front, we've got a chance. It's very important, to me anyway, it's very important to get the first level blocked, even if it means not getting to the second level or getting there late. Okay? Because those guys have got to be blocked to make it work. And I think that's on any version of inside zone. You got to block the front guys, the guys with their hands on the ground, the big guys. All right, the running back has to press the play side heel of the center. It's not as wide as some zones in the past have been. It hits real tight, almost like a midline, the way it hits. And you can start him out in pistol. You can put him over on opposite, let him cross face a little bit as he's getting downhill to the play side heel of the center. Or you can do same side, where he comes across, gets it, and bends it back like that, and make that joker look kind of like a counter in some ways. But it can become an option with a run read. It can become, RPOs are built in, just outstanding. We've talked about that. At the bottom, there'll be links to the episodes about the RPOs that you can install off of your zone action in the backfield. You can make it a lead with the F or the H coming into the backfield and leading up on the linebacker that you're not blocking, the one you normally read. Or you can even make it look like a counter with the split action when you have that H or F, depending on what you call him, come across, and do that right there and kick that backside defensive end as you scoop up to the linebacker. Okay? But it can be run with any way you want to do with the running back. It can be done out of empty. Let the quarterback be the guy. But you're pressing the play side heel of the center. All right, why do we combo? And that's, some people ask, why do you combo? In our inside zone scheme, we want to get at least one combo. Excuse me, it's who do you combo, is what they ask. In our inside zone scheme, we want to get at least one combo versus an even front, two versus an odd. Now, if you want a combo double team versus an even front, you got to bring a tight end in and attach him, or an H in and attach him to get that combo on the play side. Okay, and you'd be comboing with the play side tackle then. All right, foundations of combos, we want the combos to get vertical. We want vertical combos. All right, some of y'all have heard me, the first episode of season 2, we talked about severe angle. We talked about moving people sideways, horizontally. Okay, in the zone game, you've got to get, that combo's got to be vertical, because you want to knock that joker back into the lap of the second level defender, the linebackers. You want to knock that joker back, make them linebackers play around them, make those linebackers play flat. It's hard to play football when you've got 3 linemen in your lap. Okay? You got the 2 doing the double team and the 1 that they're doubling. You got 3 linemen moving back into that linebacker's territory where he's been taught, he's been on the W or whatever it is you call it, the V, where they're making those read steps, those angles, those run throughs, and you're knocking that dude back. It's tough for them to do what they've been coached to do. And that's why we combo. And who we combo, it depends on how the defense lines up. All right, it's only different. Our combos are different from gap, are not any different from gap combos as far as the technique goes. I know that sounds anathema or like crazy talk to some coaches, but again, I don't think you have to have a different one. You just got to teach them who they're coming off to. On the gap scheme, they're usually going to come off to the backside linebacker. And on the zone scheme, they're going to usually come off to the front side linebacker, to the play side linebacker. But the technique, the way we teach it, the hip-to-hip stuff, it carries over to both, on both schemes. And that is very important for the smaller schools that have limited playing time, limited practice time, and limited numbers, kids going both ways, and the most they're getting on offense or defense any given day is an hour. You can't be keeping kids out for 3.5 hour practices during the season. So, you're talking on Monday, you get an hour offense, an hour defense, and Tuesday and Wednesday. Some schools split it up, have an 80, 20, 70, 30 day. But you're still not getting as much time as the bigger schools with nobody going both ways, or with the one-way players. And so I think having one kind of combo, one kind of double combo, whatever you want to call it, combo doubles, is the way to go for the smaller schools and for the lower level programs such as the rec leagues and the junior high leagues. And that's what I mean by lower level, the younger kids. All right, so it's not any different. It's just who they come off of is different. Okay. All right, coaching points from my inside zone. And I say it's mine because I've taken it. I got it from somebody else, and I've taken it and put my signature on it and done my little things here and there, and different things I've learned before and different things I've learned since and being introduced to this. All right, we use the 2 on, 2 off technique, 2 hands on, 2 hands off. If you need to have 4 hands on and then 4 eyes on the linebacker, that's a you thing. You've heard me say it before. It's like cooking and salt. Season the taste, y'all. Season the taste. The OL should each have their hand nearest the defender on the defender. Okay, using the 2 on, 2 off technique. And I forget where I got that from. It was a high school coach. And I may have gotten it online from X&O Labs years ago. But boom, right here. So if he's to my left, I'm going to have my left hand on him. If the guy we're comboing is to my right, I'm going to have my right hand on him. and then my offhand is free and in tight. That way, keep it in tight, okay, for contact with the second level so we don't get called for holding. The DL's near chest plate, the closest chest plate of his shoulder pads to you, that is the strike zone. That's your aiming point. You could use the top of the number, whatever it is you want to use. I use chest plate because a lot of times in practice our kids don't have a number on. But the DL's near chest plate is the strike zone for both offensive linemen, the nearest chest plate to them. If we hit and we twist on the combo, let me blow myself up here, get my screen bigger, okay? All right, here's what I'm saying. Okay, so if this guy's right here, okay, that I'm going to be comboing on. When I come off, I'm going to hit palm open right here and twist. And notice what my elbow does. It comes in. Now come back, let's say we're doing a solo block, drive block. It's the same technique. I'm going to hit, twist, and look what it does to my elbows. It brings them in tight, see? Boom, almost like a power clean. Okay, another reason we do those power cleans in the weight room. All right, the explosion. All right, boom, right there. So it'd be the same technique right here. If the dude was to my right, boom, right there. Okay? So that's why we do that. There we go. All right, hand placement. Strike zone, as we said, chest plate of the DL. Strike the closest half of the defender's chest plate, the side that's on your side. Common sense. Strike the chest plate with an aggressive open palm punch, twist, and lift. Twist and lift. Twist and lift. And that elbow comes in and out. In and out. The goal is to get drive and lift. Okay? And contact is always made when the second step goes in the ground. So you got 2 feet in the ground, chopping and running. When you make that contact, and it maximizes the pop. You get more bang for the buck, if you will, on that second step. And you can do that on air right now. You can take them out there 5-10 minutes a day. Work on their zone steps. First step, boom. Lead step, lead step, lead step. All right, lead step with the power step, as I like to call it, because that's the step where you get your power from on that second step. And have them punch on air. You can do it right now, every day when the weight room's over. Get them linemen outside. Get them in the locker room. Get them in the free space, wherever you got one, and work their butts on their steps. Because, guys, you got to make it muscle memory. You got to make it where it's just second nature to them, and they're just going to do it, okay? All right, but the goal is to get drive and lift, keep the other hand free for the second level defender. Keep the other elbow in tight, okay, in tight. That way, if you're not out here and you reach out, you're going to get holding, okay? So you keep it in tight, and when you do, if you do, come off to the linebacker, the second level, you're in here tight, boom, punch, come on, punch. Right there, you're coming off, and your hands are already together. You get that punch. You get that punch, hands together, throwing those elbows in and up to get the lift and straighten that joker up. So keep that other elbow and forearm in tight to your side. All right, coaching points, hip to hip. You can't stress it enough. Hip to hip. We become one as soon as possible to lessen the chance of the DL splitting the double. All right, the 2 O-linemen must work together, tight and in unison, working together. Okay, doing the same thing. Y'all been singing in church. You know what unison means? Everybody's singing the same part. No bass, no tenor, no alto, no soprano. Everybody's singing the same part. It's the same thing with this. Working in unison. They're trying to get to the same place. One's coming from the left, one's coming from the right, but they're working together. And they got to press their hips together to be one, because this is it. You can't let the D-line split the double. You can't let the D-line split the double. That's it. Canon law. Okay? Can't do it. Okay? All right, now here's a note. A great, in all caps, drill is putting a hand shield between the 2 O-line's hips and making them drive block as one with hips pressed together. So it's kind of a fit drill, and I'm going to show it to you in a little bit. Here we go. All right, hip to hip fit drill. Now remember what fit means. Fit means you've already come off the ball, okay? You've already come off the ball, and so you've eliminated that from the drill. So guys, we've already come off the ball, and I know you coaches know this, but remember now this goes out to a lot of guys that sell insurance and they work a regular job all day, and they're trying to help their son or help their nephew or coaching a rec league team. All right, some of them are young guys, but fit drill. Because I remember the first time we didn't do fit drill back in the 70s, guys. We didn't have fit drill, not at my school. All right, I learned it. Matter of fact, I think I was already out of college when I learned it. And I thought it was the best thing, since sliced bread when I learned it, because it gets the kids where they need to be. And see, a lot of kids are not that good when they're young and they're undersized, and they never get to the point you want them to get to. They don't know how to finish a block because they never get there. So when they do get in on a JV game on a Monday or Tuesday night, or they get in at the end of a varsity game on Friday night, they don't know what to do. I mean, they paid attention in practice. They know who to block, let's say. But now all of a sudden they're playing against somebody that's at their level. But because they've been going against a bunch of juniors and seniors that are really good players, and you never let them see what it's like to finish a block because they get their butt beat initially, from the jump, they don't know how to do it. So let them fit up. Okay, this drill, you're taking the two guys and you're putting them together. Okay, right here. They've already taken their steps, and there's a little gap in between them. Okay? And then you're going to take a bag and put in between them. It's all right, push it together. All right, you got another guy. It can be a body. It can be a guy holding a bag or holding a dummy. And say, all right, fit up. And they're going to fit up right there. They just make their punches before the drill starts too. Put their hands on it. They've already punched. Now what I do is tell them don't twist and lift until I blow the whistle. Okay, and when I blow the whistle, they're going to twist and lift. Tell them this is post second step. So blow the whistle, twist and lift, and start driving and working those hips together. And this teaches them to stay together. And, make it a game. If that thing falls, they got to do 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 5 belly flops, whatever. If that thing drops before the next whistle, how about the bag right here? Okay, you got to keep that bag off the ground. Keep the bag clean. And those little square hand shields are perfect because they're not too heavy, and you fit them right in there, and they're cushiony, so they push together. Push the hips together and push that bag in between them. Okay, so we put that hand shield between their hips, have them drive block while pressing their hips against each other and keeping the shield between them, keeping it up. And stress the 2-on-2 technique with two eyes up. And you may want to stand on the other side and make sure they're looking at you. Maybe you play a game with them there, hold up fingers. And don't make them guess, like, is it 3 or 4? Tell them it's going to be 1 or 2. 1 or 2. And they got to tell you, 1 or 2. 1 or 2. And you're testing them. And if they don't do it, tell them they got the 5 belly flops, 10 push-ups, whatever it is you say. As soon as you blow the whistle again, say, hey, hit it right here. All right? And you can do it with like 3 groups. You have 6 guys going. If you got 10 linemen, you have 1 guy taking a break. And you got 9. You got 6 right here. And then 3 more right here. So you got 9 guys working. So the more people you got involved, the better. Okay, and that's one of the knocks against some sports. Okay, there's your other bag right here. And there's your other bag coming up right there. Okay? All right, and that's a great drill. And it teaches them to keep their hips together. Now, what you stress to them, and you may, if you got an older kid that's really good at it, tell him, say, hey, create a little separation this time and see if Johnny will work to you. And tell him, I'm not going to penalize you if it hits the ground. We're just trying to, let them see what it feels like. So you got the younger guy working with an older guy, and the older guy kind of works to the left a little bit. Not fast, just a little bit. And the guy on the right, the younger guy's got to fight his feet and his hips and keep it pushed together. And so there's all kind of things you can do with that. All right, now, add to it. Maybe not the first day. Okay, maybe not the second or third day. But eventually you add to it, because here's the thing. You may not want to add to it you may want to go through all of spring and not teach them to come off to a linebacker. If you're like us and, in Alabama and Georgia, we don't get but 2 weeks. 10 days is all we get. And one of those days, if you play a spring game, is the game. And then if you do a pregame day, that takes a day out. So you're talking about 8 days. Maybe you just want to work on getting better at double teaming, especially if you're just putting this in or you got a new group because you lost your other group to graduation, and just work on double teams. And there you put that linebacker back there. Just say, all I want y'all doing is getting vertical movement on the D line. First level, vertical movement. First level, vertical movement. Over and over and over again. And let them understand that that's the most important thing. And once they get that down pat, then you can add the backer to the drill. Okay? Now what you do is you let them fit up again. Oh, here's the other thing I forgot. On that other drill, let's go back. There you go. On that other drill, when they get good at it and you think they're pretty good, challenge them. Have a player, a coach, you stand behind them. And when you blow the whistle, you drop the bag. You got the bag held up over between their hips, but up, and you drop the bag, and they got to catch that bag as they're driving that guy. That's a pretty good way to do it, too. Just have somebody stand there. I got that this week from a young coach, and I thought he said, we had a guy I said, that is awesome. Okay, because they have to figure that out. All right, so that's another way to do it. All right, now with this one, what you do is you take your backer and put him back here. All right, and before you blow the whistle, to have them stand, they're fit up just like they were. Same drill we just did, except you're adding the backer. Tell him left or right. Point. You're standing behind the O-line now. And left or right. All right, so on the first whistle, y'all start driving. On the second whistle, or when I give the signal, you go whichever way. And now they've got to come off. And that's how you do it. Okay? And have them space back a little bit further than a regular linebacker. Kind of make the drill a little bigger than the real deal. Make them cover more ground, and you get a better feel for those combo doubles too. And you get better, those guys are getting that feel of getting that. And what you tell them is this: don't come off unless that backer inserts. If he steps up and comes in the gap on your side, you got him. And sometimes you just give him a signal like this. Put your hands up and just do this. Or stay. Just back up and don't pick a side. And see if anybody comes off. And that way you'll figure out if you got the linemen are in the mindset, oh, I got to get backer, I got to get backer. And sometimes what you'll see in the drills, both of them come off. When that guy doesn't make a move at all, they think, oh, somebody's got to get him. And and that's when you can coach them up. And you heard me say before, let them make mistakes, especially in practice. Coach them up. We're almost at 30 minutes. When I finish talking about this drill, we're going to break it, and we'll come back and do another one that'd be a part 2 to this. All right, but what you do is you tell them the D-line is what matters. Stress the 2 on, 2 off with the eyes up. When the OL that stays feels his partner leave. So if it's this one right here, okay, this set of players right here, he comes this way to the left. He comes off. This guy here has got to work to the center of that DL and torque with it. In this case, it'd be his left arm and his left hip. Torque him. Okay? Torque him. Swing that hip. And like this to keep, because now if you're getting a double team and all of a sudden a guy leaves, young D linemen are like water. They're going to go the path of least resistance. Well, as soon as the other guy doubling leaves, he's probably going to go that way. If he beats you over there, then just take him and wash him on. The vertical is over. Just get horizontal movement. Move him. Just stay with him. And that's the other thing you got to stress to him, is stay with guys until the echo of the whistle. Stay with them. Now, one thing I like to do, I'll teach them this, and it ain't dirty. We're not doing anything that's going to hurt anybody. But when you hear that whistle blow, make them do it in practice. Tell them to push one more time. Push one more time. And here's what happens. Eventually, if there's a hothead D lineman, he's going to have enough of that crap, and he may take a swing at him. Boom, 15 yards, and if he's really good and takes a swing at him, in the associations I coach in, his butt is gone, and his wallet is $300 lighter before he can play again. Somebody's is. In schools I've been coaching at, the school doesn't pay fines for players nor coaches. The school will write the check for you and send it after you bring them the cash. So make them jokers get that little extra push at the end. Okay? And it's not going to get called because you're not rearing back and hitting it. It's not a late hit. You just, as soon as you hear the whistle, push. And that's where you get that contact to the echo of the whistle. Because you're getting that when they hear the whistle doesn't tell them to stop blocking. The whistle tells them to push. Just shove it. It ain't got to be a big one. Just shove it. And if you're getting the best of that dude with those double teams, sooner or later, he's going to have enough of that crap. So you got to torque, because now it becomes a solo block because your dude is left. And it's the same thing to the right. You'll torque with your right hip because you got to work to the middle, because that guy's going to probably, 9 times out of 10, go to the side that your buddy left from. Okay? All right. We're going to talk about combos and doubles on the next episode. I may do that one tomorrow. You won't care. You just watch it whenever you watch it. I was talking to a guy earlier today that was watching one from season 1, and that's the way it rolls. So let's don't forget to contact right equipment. Okay, as I'm talking, you can be getting a preview of the next episode. This has been season 2, episode 3, more zone stuff. And I want you to remember right equipment, Johnny's New York Style Pizza in downtown West Point, and of course the best real estate agent in the entire state of Georgia is my wife, Tammy Pierce. Tammy Pierce Real Estate, right here. That's right, dudes. They go ahead and say it. I hear it all the time. I'm so tired of hearing it. But anyway, I'm not tired of being married to her, that's for sure. Yeah, I outkick my coverage. I know it. So, right equipment, great folks, a friend of every program. Johnny's New York Style Pizza in downtown West Point. If you're in the West Georgia, East Alabama area, that's a great place to eat. Prices are outstanding. Lunch specials are unbelievable. Get a slice and a salad and a drink for like $8 or $9. You can't beat that. And then Tammy Pierce Real Estate, if you're looking to relocate in the West Georgia area, she's got the property you need. Be sure to visit, like, and join my Facebook group. Okay? Football Talk with Coach Chip. And don't forget to email your questions to siegel.chip@gmail.com. And if you can't wait for the next episode and you want to see the whole thing, hit me up on email, siegel.chip@gmail.com, and I will send you the PowerPoint. Okay? You can't beat that, guys. And it's all free. Ain't that great? Tell your friends about Football Talk with Coach Chip. Tell them about the YouTube channel. Share it. Go to my Facebook page, click on stuff, share it to your Facebook page. Tell your coaching buddies about it. Tell your buddies about it. I got a guy that I've been talking to that's not a coach. He just loves football, and he just watches it, learn more about football. All right, remember, I'm also on Twitter at Chip Siegel. So until the next episode, which will be part 2 of more zone stuff, be elite. Please, just be elite.